Hey guys, welcome back to episode number 3 of the podcast series, What's New, with myself, the co-host Zachary Weldon, and we have Logan Drawn here with us.
Hello, Logan Dragon, as always.
And then we have our special guest, which is Dillon C.
Hello.
So that's who we have on today. So just like yesterday, we have 4 separate sections, and none of them have to do with the Super Bowl today, which is good because we suck with sports.
We
So
even predicted it wrong.
I predicted it right.
Oh yeah, did you say that they were going to win the
Yeah, I said
Buccaneers?
Buccaneers.
Okay, then I predicted it wrong. But you thought Tom Brady was a freaking baseball
No,
player,
no, that
dude.
was Caleb.
I don't
Okay,
understand
yeah,
whatever
sure.
y'all are talking about.
Okay, anyway.
Anyways, our 4 sections are going to be, the first one is gaming. The next one, section 2 at 15 minutes, will be food. 30 minutes in, we'll go to Star Wars, and 40 minutes or 45 minutes in, we'll go into marching band. So,
All by Dylan's choice.
yes, these were
By
all
the
Dylan's choice. So, let's go ahead and get into this. So, I'm going to let Logan ask the first question this time because I ask the first question every single episode, and we're going to switch it up. So, gaming
Okay.
questions for the next 15 minutes.
Okay, gaming questions. I don't want to take one of Zachary's questions, but I don't remember what all he was planning to ask you. So, what game have you played that you think maybe not the best graphics, but it has the most fun interactive gameplay?
Um, uh, I'm not sure because I have games with pretty decent graphics, but if I had to choose, it'd be Assassin's Creed.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
as I said, they're also really good graphics, but the gameplay is better
Yeah.
because it gives you direct like instructions on what quests you need to do, where you need to go. It has side quests, treasures you can collect, stuff you can buy. It's
Yeah.
it's really cool.
Yeah. I am a big fan of the Assassin's Creed series. Now, little side question before we move on to Zachary's first question. Do you prefer the newer or the older Assassin's Creed games, and which one is your favorite?
Uh, uh, I'd have to say newer just because they're more fast paced, and I don't like a lot of story. I like more action, but
Yeah.
I'd have to say the my favorite one would be the one I'm playing currently, which is Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Yeah. I was gonna buy Valhalla, but I could get like something like $70 off on Odyssey, so I went ahead and got that. Especially because I'm into Greek culture right now. Very fun game. Very fun game.
I want to get that one too.
Yeah, it's good.
Okay, so Logan said he wasn't going to steal my questions, but the like he kind of asked the first question I had, which was what game has the best graphics. He didn't necessarily ask that, so I'm going
I
to ask
said
it again.
gameplay. I
Out of
said
all the games
gameplay.
you've seen, not necessarily played but seen, which one has had the best looking graphics?
Um, hmm. Again, out of the ones I've seen, I'd have to say Assassin's Creed.
Oh, bold choice there.
Yeah, I don't play a lot of games, but when I do, I game.
Yeah.
But there's also COD has some pretty good graphics too, but to me, I just like Assassin's Creed more.
Yeah.
So
I am a
Okay.
big fan of the Assassin's Creed games. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Zachary, would you also like to answer your question?
Uh. Okay. So as I said in the other one of the other podcasts, I don't play too many games. Like I said, I play Modern Warfare, Rainbow Six Siege, and Minecraft. So, I'm not the like graphics type of guy. If you're gonna come for that. But I'm gonna say Call of Duty Modern Warfare that I've seen because I don't pay attention to too many games like that.
Well, I have to say the game that I've played personally, and out of all the games I've ever seen, with the best graphics and some of the best gameplay, is Rockstar Games' Red Dead Redemption 2. I think it knocked it out of the park with our expectations of what they could bring to the open world genre, and I definitely think I enjoyed it a lot more than GTA 5. I don't know if that's an unpopular opinion or a popular opinion, but GTA 5 story was just a little bland to me, not very creative, and too out there. All the helicopters and landing stuff and exploding stuff. Is just too extravagant that all that stuff would happen to those one group of guys. And I don't want to rant, but I think Red Dead Redemption 2 took a realistic approach to a Wild West gangster story. But it was just a very, very good game all around, including graphics, especially.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Okay,
is it my
so
turn to ask a question again?
yeah, that
Or do you
is
want to pick
it
a
for
question?
me.
Okay. Um, well, we're still on games for the next 10, 12 minutes or so. So, what game do you think you've played that has the best soundtrack?
I'd have to say Assassin's Creed Black Flag, just because I
Okay.
like the keys that they chose.
I've never played Black Flag personally. Hold on. Black Flag. Okay, sorry. I didn't. Never mind. Black Flag. I have never played that one personally, but I have watched people play it in my own house and on my console. It does appear to be a very fun game.
It is.
And, yeah, very fun. Don't you play as a guy named Edward,
Ed-
right? Maybe? I'm wrong.
yep.
Ed
Edward.
what?
Edward.
Okay, okay. I'm glad I got that right and didn't look completely stupid. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna answer that too, kind of. Again, don't play many video games. Minecraft, everyone knows Minecraft music. Call of Duty and Rainbow Six Siege don't necessarily have music behind them, but a game that I play a little bit too much of is it's a computer game. It's Microsoft Solitaire Collection. Their music is just so catchy.
Okay. Yeah, really, really thinking outside the box, are we, Zachary?
Yeah, I am.
Didn't expect anyone to say solitaire. Well, I have to say, out of all the games I've ever played and all the games I've ever watched, I'm a really big fan of Mafia and Mafia 2, as well as Red Dead Redemption 2's soundtrack. However, I have to say, my all time favorite soundtrack that was made originally for the game is Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. Their little bit music is just so good, and it works for literally anything, whether you want to hold a D&D campaign, whether you want to go to sleep, whether you want to study. That music just knocks it out of the park. It's amazing. I really am a big fan of Ocarina of Time. I haven't played much Legend of Zelda, but I have to say, if I ever revisit the Legend of Zelda games, it will be Ocarina of Time.
Okay, cool.
Zachary, question?
So, um, I'll take it that's probably the end of what you had to say.
Yeah.
Okay, so my next question is, out of all the games that you've played, what have you been playing for the longest?
Uh, I'd have to say Minecraft, just because back when I played on Xbox 360, that was one of the first games that I had. So, and I've been playing since maybe 2012, 2013. So, it, I'd have to say that one's the longest played.
Okay. What about you, Logan?
Personally, most games I don't play for a very long time. I pick it up, I think it's really good, but I play it for maybe a year or so until I drop it and pick up a new game. That's just my thing. I've never really kept a game. I mean, I played Team Fortress 2 for a good 3.5 years. So I guess that's my longest played solid, but it's because it was the only game I had access to. I played Red Dead Redemption 2 on and off for maybe 2 years, and I played GTA 5 on and off for about a year. I just can't stay with a game and play it for years and years and years. Not really my thing, personally. Zachary?
Um, I'm a second on what Dylan said. I've been playing the game since it came out, Minecraft, and like still to this day, like on my main channel, I have a Minecraft survival series that I'm currently running. I need to get another episode of that out, but yeah, so Minecraft for me.
Makes two of us.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm kind of thinking about giving up that little playthrough. Yeah, I know it's only my second video, but not many. I don't really think it's my thing. I just can't really connect with an audience when I'm not talking to someone. When I'm talking to someone, I can make up stuff, but when I'm just talking to myself and a screen, I just can't. So I think I might give up on the, you know, one on myself let's plays.
Yeah.
Not very fun. Okay,
Okay,
Zachary, is it my
so
question again?
Yeah, that's what I had to say. So it's your turn.
Okay, so Zachary has a bunch of questions lined up for each section, and I don't know what he's going to ask you next. So I will ask a question that has absolutely nothing to do with gaming, if it's okay with you.
Okay,
Do you recycle?
I do.
Why?
It's better for the environment.
Good answer. Good answer. Now I want to ask you. Now, if let's say if the president came to your house, now this could be any president ever, came to your house and said, "I hate you," what would you do?
I would accept that they hate me. It's their opinion.
Wow,
Very good answer.
that is a very good answer. The inspirational. Just let it roll off your back. Don't listen to what
Pe-
people say.
People are allowed to have their opinions, whether it's negative about me or positive. It's their opinion.
All right. Zachary, gaming question now.
Okay, so my last question for the gaming segment is what is the worst, like graphics wise, playthrough wise, worst in every aspect possible game that you've ever played?
Uh, I'd have to think about that. Worst. The worst gameplay, I'd have to say, is Forza. I just didn't connect with it because I was thinking it'd be like more like Need for Speed, but it wasn't. So it just wasn't my thing.
Yeah.
Graphics, I'm not really sure because I have games with pretty good graphics. So
Zachary, would you like to answer your question?
Um, so there's this game I found on Steam. Hold up, I gotta pull Steam up real quick to see what the name of it was. 'Cause it's heck, it's called RC Plane 3. I paid like $2 for that game because it was like a plane simulator, and I like planes. Planes are pretty cool. And I opened the game, and it looked like how do I say this? You know what the Atari games looked like?
Yeah.
so 16-bit,
Yeah, like
8-bit.
the garbage stuff. Yeah, that's what would you would see when opening that game.
Now,
So
was it 2D or was it 3D but very geometric?
it was 3D but 16-bit Atari style, which makes no sense. And
Huh.
Yeah, not really.
there was no way to play the game. The controls were too confusing, and so it was disgusting.
Okay. Um, I guess it's my turn to answer the question, right?
Yep.
Okay, so I'm gonna say the game that I've probably had the game least good gameplay experience. I'm gonna say probably trying to think. I had it just on the tip of my tongue. I could give you my second, but I mean like oh. Okay, yeah, okay. So on the Zachary, you said your worst experience was with a plane simulator,
Mhm.
kinda? Okay, so mine on that note, have you ever heard of BeamNG Drive?
I have not.
Okay, if you ever watch those simulated car crashes that looks like it's from a video game and like the car like crashes but it like wraps around the tree, very satisfying to watch BeamNG Drive gameplay.
Yeah.
So I got it so I could crash some cars, make it look cool, just play around with it. Some of the worst gameplay I've ever had. I mean, like maybe it's for some of you other guys, but I mean, I've played racing games, I've played all kinds of games with cars. That those the controls, everything, it was just terrible, and it wouldn't let me remap my controls. So
Dang.
it wasn't that bad. I mean, it wasn't that good. I got a refund. It's just not my thing.
Well, that's very nice, very nice. So, do you have any gaming questions for us, Dylan? Because we have about 30 seconds left in this segment, and yeah.
We can go into overtime a little bit.
Uh, I can't really think of any. So not off the top of my head.
Okay. Okay. Reasonable.
Okay, so
Understand.
I guess we'll just go ahead and move on over to section number 2, food. So the next 15 minutes, all the way up till 30 minutes into this episode, we'll be talking about anything food related. So that'll be fun. So
Okay. Zachary, I'll let you ask the first question while
Okay,
I think of
so I think I know his answer to this because I know Dylan pretty well. But what is your favorite food type?
I'd have to say Mexican, but not authentic Mexican because I can't handle like spicy and stuff.
like white people Mexican
Yeah,
food,
like
Yeah,
American Mexican.
like Taco
yeah,
Bell almost,
yeah.
but better.
Taco Bell is his favorite restaurant.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yes,
You
that's
guys
where I
are
get
like
it from.
twins. Yeah. And I mean, I like Taco Bell, but they really like underserve me on how much meat they put on my taco.
Dang.
Yeah, but it to me it does make up in like flavor.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah, their tacos are pretty good. Do you guys prefer? Okay. Can I ask you a question?
Uh huh.
Okay, Dylan, do you prefer from Taco Bell hard shell or soft shell?
uh, I prefer soft shell, but
Oh,
sometimes I'll get a taco supreme if I get
okay.
a hard shell.
I used to always get soft shell, but personally now I prefer hard shell because it's I don't know, I just like the crunch and then the cheese and the meat on the inside. It's just very delicious.
Yeah.
What I do is I order my meal and then I'll order like a soft shell beef only taco, and it's great.
Beef only, so like no
Just
beans, no cheese.
no cheese, no lettuce, no nothing, just beef.
Nice. That's
It's
another
great.
thing. There's always when I ask for no lettuce, there's always a tiny, tiny bit of lettuce in it.
Yeah, they're trying to
Sure.
kill you there. So
Sometimes
Maybe
they'll
they're
mess up and
trying to
put
be
lettuce.
healthy.
Sometimes they'll mess up and put lettuce and cheese, but it's still good. I'll still eat it.
Yeah.
very nice. So on that note, like Taco Bell's Dylan's favorite restaurant. What's your favorite thing to get there? Because I know you like basically everything that they have, but what is your absolute favorite thing?
I'd have to say the Crunchwrap Supreme.
I agree on
Oh,
that one.
I've never had that one personally. The only thing I've ever had there was tacos.
You don't say.
Never had any of that. Yeah.
Wow.
I wanted to have that. What was it like? Chicken cheddar chalupa or whatever it
Oh,
was.
the
It was like
chalupas are great.
oh yeah. Okay, so I saw an ad for it back like almost a year ago, and it's an ad talking about Taco Bell's cheddar cheese no nacho cheddar chalupa or something like that, and it's like I forgot. It looked like a big taco, but the shell was like a Dorito. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It looked
Oh,
really, really good though. I wish I had it.
Yeah. Taco Bell has, and so in my opinion, just some really interesting but flavorful menu items.
Yeah. Okay, so is it my turn to ask a big question?
It's your turn to ask a big question. Yes.
Okay. So my question, all right. Did you okay, so this was a promotional item from KFC, right? I don't know if you've ever eaten at KFC, have you?
a few times.
Okay, so this item from KFC, I can describe it to you, but you might have already heard it when it was in commercials or whatever. But it was a promotional item where Cheetos and KFC was getting together and they made a sandwich, but it had regular breading or regular like buns, but the breading on the chicken was Cheetos. It was like a Cheeto chicken. I mean it looked weird and not too many people got it, but it was promotional, so not too many people needed to get it.
That sounds absolutely disgusting.
I'm gonna be honest, it made my mouth water. I wish I would have bought one. It looks so delicious to me. So my question was, Dylan, would you, given the chance, try that?
Considering what you said, it sounds just about as disgusting as Cheeto mac and cheese.
Ah, yeah, Cheeto mac and cheese is pretty bad. I've never had it, but it sounds pretty bad. But chicken breaded and fried in Cheeto powder and Cheeto and like
That
little chunks of Cheeto, like Cheeto, it just
But
that's
why?
almost
I don't know, something about it I
that's
just
almost
really
as
like.
American as you can get.
Okay. Well, I guess, we all have different taste buds.
That's interesting to say the least.
Yeah. Okay. Zachary, your question?
My question, okay, my next question is, what is your favorite dessert food? So,
Oh,
for
uh,
me, I like cherry pie. Cherry pie is great.
cherry pie is up there, but I also like mint chocolate chip ice cream and Moose Tracks ice cream.
Okay. What about you, Logan? Logan has been muted. I don't know why, but
Sorry, I'm back. I had something to deal with, and I just didn't want to do it, but I didn't want to announce it in the middle of your question.
okay. So my question was, what's your favorite dessert food? So what's your favorite dessert food, Logan? Because Dylan already answered.
Okay. Wait, what was his answer? I just want to know.
I like cherry pie, but I also like mint chocolate chip ice cream and Moose Tracks ice cream.
Oh my God, Moose Tracks. That really brings me back. I love Moose Tracks. But my favorite dessert. Okay, have you guys ever heard of a dirt cake?
Yes.
I think so.
Okay, it's like crunched up Oreos with like
With
layers of almost like vanilla pudding.
ice, kind
Yeah.
of.
Oh, it is delicious. I mean,
I
it's
think
my favorite because my dad makes it just right. It's so good.
I think I've had one from Dairy Queen.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so me and Dylan went to the same church. So we had the same pastor for a really long time. So he made something called an Oreo ball, and
Uh,
it was like chocolate cake mix covered in white chocolate, and they were really, really good.
and they had like crunched up Oreos in them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds really, really good.
He also made his own ice cream.
Oh yeah, he made lots of really good homemade ice creams.
I have an ice cream maker, but we never actually used it, and I don't know what happened to it.
My family has one. We use it every once in a while to make like vanilla, and that's where we end it there.
All right. Yeah. Vanilla's easier to make, so I think if I ever made ice cream, that'd probably be my first.
Yeah. Okay, so that was it for me. What's your next question?
Okay. So I got to think about a question for food, right? So I'm thinking chips. All right. We'll go with chips. Dylan, if
Yes.
you have one, what is your favorite snack chip? Like something that like you're hungry, you want a snack, you're hoping this is in your cabinet.
Funyuns.
Funyuns.
Yes.
Very interesting answer. I've actually never had Funyuns.
They're pretty good.
Come again?
Yeah.
They're pretty good.
No, what Logan said.
What'd you say, Zachary?
You said you never had Funyuns?
Yeah, I've never had
You're
Funyuns.
telling me you're a white boy that lives in the South and you've never had Funyuns?
That's exactly what I'm saying. Yeah.
Wow.
Never
Okay.
had.
That's interesting. But my answer to that question is going to be the kettle cooked jalapeno chips.
Okay.
Kettle cooked chips are
Well,
amazing, and then the jalapeno flavor just is great.
yeah. So I'd like to say my favorite has got to be Cheetos. But also on that note, like Zachary, it's not regular Cheetos. Like he wouldn't say regular kettle chips. I'm saying jalapeno Cheetos. It adds a great
Th-
flavor, and it's a little bit of spicy without being that spicy. It's just good,
Those
right in the middle.
Oh yeah.
Flavorful. Okay, so wait, Zachary, was that your last question? How close are we to 15 minutes? I don't think we're done with this segment
We got
yet.
about 5 or 6 minutes left on this one, so
Okay. Well, we could fill a lot of time up with our next section.
yes, we could.
Very interesting section,
Okay,
I
well, I
think.
have one more question for this section.
okay.
Okay.
Okay,
Shoot.
so Dylan, what is the worst tasting food you've ever put in your mouth?
I'd have to say an authentic Mexican enchilada.
What?
Dude,
It.
you kidding
I
me?
had one at a birthday party, not knowing it was authentic, because I had never had authentic Mexican food, and
Okay.
I hated it.
Okay, was it authentic or was it like just poorly made? Because there is a
It
difference.
it was authentic.
Oh my God. I'm sorry, man. I know my dad's white. He makes like one really good authentic enchilada because he used to live in Texas, near the border. That's where he
No,
grew
like
up. He also grew up in Las Vegas, but he
the
makes authentic Mexican food. But
the parents use like an authentic Mexican recipe.
oof, yeah, gotta suck for you.
Dang.
Yeah, I
Mm,
prefer American Mexican.
yeah. All right.
Taco Bell want to sponsor us?
Yeah, we will. We will literally suck you off for money, Taco Bell, if you're listening.
We want. I wouldn't go that far. Maybe Logan would, but you know.
I would. I'd suck the meat straight out of that meat hose.
Oh no. Um,
Indeed.
you got any food questions, Dylan?
Not that I can think of.
All
Okay.
right.
Well, I'm gonna change the subject because Logan needs that to
Yeah.
happen. Uh,
Yeah.
so our next section, which we can spend the next 30 minutes, or excuse me, 20 minutes on, is going to be Star Wars. So Logan, you can ask the first question.
Okay. So first off, Dylan, I need to know how far are you into Star Wars? Like, how big of a fan are you of Star Wars? Yeah, I know you suggested that we make that one of the sections, so I want to know what kind of
I
questions should I be asking you so I don't look like a nerd?
Well, I love Star Wars. I'm not that deep into the like lore and the legend. I'm more into like movie stuff and the TV shows like Rebels and Clone Wars.
Okay. So, a lot of people were very, people who didn't watch Clone Wars, people who haven't watched Rebels, when they saw Darth Maul appear in the end of Solo, they thought, I thought he was dead. This is stupid. They brought him back for no reason. And you, being someone who, having watched Rebels and Clone Wars, knowing he was alive, if you happened to watch Solo, what was your reaction when you saw Maul at the end of the film?
Well, I watched Clone Wars before, or I meant after I watched Solo. So I was kind of surprised. I wasn't mad about it. Like it was a nice surprise that they brought him back because he was a good villain. He had a lot of he didn't have that much development, so I'm glad he gets more development.
Yeah, even if it's in the TV shows, the lesser known by, most audience TV shows like Clone Wars and Rebels, at least he gets to be fleshed out a little bit and be not just a throwaway character that looks badass, you know? They really did him dirty in episode 1 though. He didn't get much character development at all. He barely got to talk.
I mean, but in Clone Wars and Rebels, he gets a lot more screen time,
Yeah.
so it kind of makes up for that. Like he goes through a lot more development.
Yeah. All right, Zachary.
Okay, so I'm not. I'm into Star Wars, but not as big as you two obviously are. So I'm just sitting back here listening to y'all go on about this. I'm like, what are they talking about? So, anyways, um, this is gonna be an easy answer, but also a controversial answer because there's multiple answers you can give to this that'll make people mad and happy. It's who is the best Jedi?
Very hard question.
Because
I'd have
you
to
can
say
say Rey,
one.
because in my opinion, it might be Rey because
No,
like she was
no.
trained under Luke. She just
Okay.
completely
Trained for like
obliterated.
what? Like 2 days?
Yeah,
He was
obliterated all of the bad guys, and
Yeah,
he
you know
trained
why
with
Rey's
Luke for
overpowered?
two
If we're
days.
going by how overpowered they are, then Rey is like a close second to Anakin Skywalker.
yeah,
But if we're going by how realistically they should be powerful, she's not even close.
No,
Yeah.
Ray makes me mad,
Yeah, definitely.
especially that crap they pulled at the end of the last Jedi or the Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, like I am Rey Skywalker. That
Yeah,
part you're talking about.
yeah.
Yeah. And a lot of people were talking about, well, it was more because she saw the ghosts of Luke and Leia, and they were like, use our name because we're like family to you. My thought. What I wasn't so mad that she took the name because I was already pissed off that the movies were going in that direction anyway. My reaction was so harsh towards that scene because I thought the whole point of the movie and her finding out that Palpatine was her grandfather, I thought the whole point was supposed to be her owning the fact that her family has an evil past, but realizing that she can be better. I thought that they were really going to go for a character development scene there, and she was going to accept the fact that she was a Palpatine. But no, she decided that she was a Skywalker, and they threw away all the possible character development she could have had.
She barely had any to begin with. A,
Yeah,
a
that's fair.
scrapper on Jakku who just found a lightsaber.
Yeah.
Also, they did Finn really dirty by turning him into like the stereotypical. Okay, like I don't want to. Okay, we're not supposed to be controversial, but I'm saying people complain about in older movies them making the black guy super goofy and super hilarious for no reason, right? And giving him no character development. That's exactly what they did to Finn. In a way of trying to be more diverse, they ended up making him the stereotypical goofy comedic relief black guy rather than making him the cool badass ex stormtrooper becomes lightsaber wielding, possibly Jedi in training, and they made him just the laughable comedic relief, and
They
they took away all
so
of his
much.
character.
They had so much potential and threw it down the drain.
Mhm.
Yeah, Finn's story was really a loss for Star Wars.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Especially now that Disney's picked it up.
Oh yeah. George Lucas thought he was giving it away to them, and it was a good idea. Man, I wish I could just run in there and slap him. That was a
Yeah,
terrible idea. But now he almost owns it again. I mean, like he doesn't own it in any way, shape, or form. He doesn't even have any control over it. But Dave Filoni and John Favreau just thought, hey, why not bring the creator, the guy who made this franchise so great? Why don't we bring him in here? And he's on the set of The Mandalorian, and he had a hand in the new season of Clone Wars. And he's gonna have a hand in the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, which I think is great, and that's the only reason these shows are prospering now.
exactly.
Yeah. I'm really glad that George is back in the game because if he wasn't,
All,
Mandalorian might have been a
all
lot
they would
worse.
do is butcher it.
Yeah.
They'd ruin it with talking unicorns and rainbows.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
most likely. All right, Zachary, your first question or
That
your
that was
oh,
my question, so it's your turn now.
okay. So I already know what you're gonna ask next, Zachary, so I won't ask it. But one of my questions is, what is your favorite Star Wars television show? Now, this could be and not just shows, but also like mini movies. So not like the main movies in the franchise, but like let's say the Star Wars Holiday Special from 1979, maybe. Just ballparking here. But also, you could say the Clone Wars, the Mandalorian. Just what's your favorite Star Wars piece of cinema that isn't a movie?
It's a, it's a, it's kind of a tie between The Mandalorian and Clone Wars. So, The Mandalorian, just because it's a great TV show. I
Yeah.
love the development that they put into Mando and the Clone Wars just because it gives more background into the movies.
I definitely have to agree with you there. Um, I'm a much bigger fan of live action, but it's still a tie because I really love the Clone Wars. I'm not so big a fan of Rebels, which brings me to a little side question. Which like the story in Rebels isn't bad. That's not why I don't like it. My question is, which one do you think has better animated style? Like which one do you think has the best appealing style to the animation? Rebels or Clone Wars?
Clone Wars, hands down.
Okay. Would you care to elaborate on that?
Well, for one, the lightsaber style that they made it, I don't like how they're so skinny.
Yeah.
Like, the blade isn't supposed to be that skinny on a lightsaber. Two, it's just more appealing to me, the Clone Wars animation. Like,
Yeah.
it just better in my opinion.
Yeah, I have to agree. Now, my reason is I know this is a little unpopular among most Clone Wars fans, but the only thing I actually like about the Rebels animation is the thin lightsabers. Now, maybe not so thin, but the reason I like it is because it brings a little bit of a stylized choice to separate it from Clone Wars while also making it, kind of like traditional fencing, look a little bit like fencing swords. But that's, again, a lot of fans like to point out that's not the point. Lightsabers don't look like that. They're not that skinny and they look flimsy. And I have to agree with that statement. I just think it's a nice stylized choice. But I hate how in Rebels how smooth their faces are. When in Clone Wars it's like a traditional animated, they have sharpness to their faces. It's almost like watching an animated JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, but Star Wars. But also a better story because JoJo sucks. I mean, I don't know if you guys watch JoJo, but I hate that show. Anyway, next question, Zachary.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask the obvious question of what color lightsaber would you choose? Me personally, I would go purple, just because why not?
I'd have to go red. The Sith
Nice.
are just so cool. They're amazing to me, at least.
Yeah. The Sith are very cool, but I think some of my favorite lightsaber colors, the ones that I'm kind of tied between, is a mint green or like a lighter purple, almost a pink, but like a purple or like a mint green. I'm really attached to those two colors, but I can't choose between them.
Yeah. I mean, I just like I would want a lightsaber in general. Doesn't matter what color it is. Like if I can get a lightsaber, I'm gonna do that.
What if it was in rainbow
What?
and every time you swung it, it just said, "I'm homosexual." Would you still want it then?
The
If you
no,
say
I
no,
would not.
if you say no, then you're a homophobe
I'll have
on
to
the spot.
pass on that type of lightsaber.
Okay. Um. Now, Dylan, why do you want the red lightsaber? I mean, like I know they're cool, the Sith, but is there something about the color red that appeals to you more than the others?
It's one of my favorite colors.
Yeah,
Red and
it's a
black
good
are.
You know, it'd
red
be
and black.
interesting.
What?
A black lightsaber.
There is one.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
Hold up.
yeah,
The
there are
dark,
black lightsabers.
the dark saber. There's only one.
Yeah, well, not just the dark saber. There's others, but they're not exactly canon. They're like comics and stuff. Not as cool, but still, the
The
dark saber is
the,
very sexy though.
the dark saber was created by a Mandalorian Jedi.
Well, the dark saber is more like a sword from the pictures I'm looking at, compared to
Yeah, but
an
still,
actual
I,
like.
I'm gonna
But
be honest. I'd almost rather have a dark saber than a
the dark
lightsaber.
the dark saber gets more development in the Clone Wars.
Yeah, in the Mandalorian, it's more just an item that's there for like people who know what it is. They're like, oh my god, that's so cool,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like there was a lot of people at the end of season 1 of The Mandalorian really confused. Like, why are they making this scene such a big deal? He got out of it. Why doesn't he have like a regular lightsaber? Why doesn't he have a red one? Why are people so surprised? Why are other fans freaking out about this? And I think that's the problem with Star Wars is Disney isn't pushing the extended universe of Star Wars as much as they should be. They've been pushing the live action and they pushed Mandalorian a lot, but when season 7 of the Clone Wars came out, they weren't telling people, "Hey, Clone Wars is a show. You should watch this. It's been out for years. It's great, even for adults." They just
Uh,
pushed it aside and only advertised it to people who are already fans of the show,
Yeah.
one of the
which still got views, but like still.
one of the things that also kind of bugged me about season 2, The Mandalorian, and this kind of is a spoilers if y'all don't want me to talk about it. So,
We could just say
but,
something real quick. Okay, if you are a fan of Star Wars or you plan on watching The Mandalorian or haven't finished season 2, please skip ahead a good 5 minutes or so. You won't miss too much. Maybe our next question, but it's totally worth it to not spoil the show. Continue, Dylan.
but the thing is but when Mando defeated Moff Gideon and obtained the dark saber and tried to give it to Bo-Katan, it kind of bugged me because in Rebels she just accepted it from Sabine without having to win it, and that's how
To
you
be
play.
fair, back then she was younger, and Sidine was her aunt and also not a warrior. So I feel like between her and Mando, they're both warriors, and at this point, it has been fought over for years and years, and she finally gets to it,
Yes,
only for her journey to end with someone giving it to her. That doesn't sit right with her because she wanted to win it in combat, like a
but
true Mandalorian.
even then, Sabine won it from fighting who was, I forgot his name, but he was a separatist or a Mandalorian assisting the Empire.
Hmm. Now, is this Clone Wars we're talking about?
This is Rebels.
Okay, I haven't seen Rebels.
Oh, my bad.
No, it's okay. I didn't really plan on watching it. I mean, I know it has a great story and all, but yeah.
It's decent.
I think my favorite part of Rebels, even though I haven't watched the show, is just the um the end of Maul's story where he fights Obi-Wan. It was I think it was a really good, really good fight. You know, it was quick
Yeah,
and it was just good.
Yeah.
and especially as Obi-Wan goes through the poses. So like
Yeah, and Maul goes exactly for the same tactic that he tried with
quite
Qui-Gon, and Obi-Wan remembered that. I think it was just beautiful the way they put it together, the way they referenced the fight between him and Qui-Gon, and Obi-Wan remembered, and Obi-Wan got him. You know, I just
Hmm.
think it was very well thought out. Dave Filoni is very good with the way he handles the Star Wars universe.
oh yeah.
Okay, so Logan, time for one more question. You can go ahead and just ask the last question that I have under the Star Wars section, since it's your turn and we probably won't have time for another one after that.
All right. Um. Okay. Okay. So this is a question that Zachary put up, but I think it is a very good question. Um, a question that has been answered since the start of the Star Wars universe. Would you prefer a lightsaber or a blaster?
A lightsaber.
All right. Uh, why?
One, they are to me they're cooler and just sleeker looking, and you can have your own kind of like design to it. Uh, Two, you could if you're going up against someone with a blaster, you could deflect the blaster shots back at them.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
so
in
that
Well, I
my
was
mean,
pretty fair
in
reasoning
my
there. I'd probably pick lightsaber myself.
yeah, in my opinion, they're just superior.
I'm gonna be honest. My main reason for why I would pick a lightsaber over a blaster. Now, typically, if you ask someone, "What do you prefer, a sword or a gun in a fight?" Typically, they're gonna say a gun. But it's different in the Star Wars universe because even if you don't have Jedi training, so maybe you're not able to deflect the bullets, it is still a revolutionary design. It is a extendable blade that can cut through almost anything. So even if you're not in battle, if you just had a lightsaber right now in your home and no one knew about it, one, it's a concealable weapon. Two, it literally looks like just a metal stick. The handle just looks like a cool metal stick, right? And I mean, you can cut stuff. You could weld. There's so much stuff you could do with it. And on top of that, it's a weapon and a
And
well, very well fighting weapon. It's very good.
even then, there are lightsabers that can cut through lightsaber resistant material. Like if you got a crate dragon crystal, and also, uh, if you got a crate dragon crystal and put it in your lightsaber, it would make the sound of a crate dragon when igniting, and two,
Oh,
it it can cut through basically anything. And I would
that's
imagine
pretty
that's
cool.
the best car.
Hmm.
Okay,
Interesting.
so it's sad, but I'm afraid we might have to move on from our Star Wars section right now. You know.
Yes, it is time. So, uh, our final section, something that both me and Dylan, sadly not Logan, do. It's marching band.
Sadly, man, really just said that.
So
Anyway,
I will ask the first question in this little section of our episode. My first question is, if you could play, because Dylan plays percussion, if you could play any other instrument than percussion, what would it be?
Uh, I'm not really sure. I haven't really thought about playing anything else because percussion is really just my thing. But if I had to choose something else, I would research the easiest thing to play and probably choose that.
Like
And I'm not
I know
sure.
you kind of like I know you like trombone a little bit too. So
Yeah, that's pretty easy to play.
yeah.
It's easier than trumpet.
Uh-huh. But yeah, for
all right.
me, if I wasn't playing baritone for marching band, I'd definitely be on drumline. So yeah, but Logan, since you're not on marching band or in band at all, if you could play any band related instrument, what would it be?
Okay, so does this have to be marching band or can it just be in a band class?
In band.
Okay, so there are plenty of instruments that are included in some band classes, but I gotta say one that I'm pretty sure is in most band classes. I'd like to play the sax. I'm a really big fan of jazz music, and it's a good instrument. I really enjoy listening to it. The
Okay.
saxophone.
So that was my question. On to yours.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. My question. Um, Now, Dylan, I don't know you very well. And even though I've known Zachary for so long, I don't know anything about band. I don't know anything about those types of instruments. So I guess I got to say another if question, same as Zachary. Now, were you in Gray Snell
I
by any
was
chance?
not.
He was not. Are you a new friend of Zachary?
No, I've known him pretty much since the day we were born, or
Oh.
he was born.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So you guys are more like so you guys didn't like meet each other in school or in the
No.
same like neighborhood. You guys are just been friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
That's
met.
pretty cool. I don't.
We pretty much met in church.
That's cool.
Grew up there.
Man, it's so hard coming up with a question in a band section. I don't. Yeah. Hold
Yeah,
on.
Logan was an orchestra guy, so
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay. Well, if you could play an orchestra instrument, this includes bass, viola, violin, cello, any of those, and more, if you know more, because I don't.
Probably bass. That's a stand-up bass.
Yeah, bass is
uh
pretty cool. I know a couple guys who did that.
yeah, I would play cello, but that's because my dad plays cello and has for
Yeah.
a really long time, and we already have one, and I already know how to play it a little bit.
Okay, that's good.
And then on cello, you can
Um,
get the really low and the really high range, so it's like an in between.
yeah. I only ever played the violin, never touched a cello or a bass. After getting the violin, me and a lot of my buddies were like, why didn't we choose bass? Because one, the school provided basses, okay, and they weren't in bad shape. But not only that, they had less notes to play. So kind of trying to take the easy way out backfired. Um, but the bass has a really nice sound to it, and its deep tones really bring out the best in some jazz music.
Oh yeah.
Zachary? Your question, Zachary?
My next question is going to be again back to the percussion side. Out of all the percussion instruments you can play, which one would you choose to play as your favorite?
I would have to choose tenors. And for those of y'all who don't know what tenors is, they're the five drums that sit in front of you, and they're the play.
I'm gonna agree with Dylan on that. I love tenors; they're amazing.
Okay. Well, I from what Dylan has just said, it sounds like a cool instrument, but I wouldn't know.
But
I
you
mean,
can
if you
have
saw a picture of them, you'd know exactly what they are. So,
some people call them quints. That's what we play, but I've added another Spock drum, which is the tiny drum in the middle, to my set.
wait, you
But
you have two
there's also
Spocks?
yes,
Lucky.
but there's also quads which have no Spock, which is what most middle schoolers use. I
Okay,
know.
so huh?
Huh?
I was gonna say I just looked up tenors to find a picture of them, and it's all British money. It because apparently tenors is like a slang word for having a 10
I'm
pound.
about to send a picture in Discord.
Search
Yeah.
up tenor drums.
Uh,
I'm sending a picture on the Discord chat. There we go.
That's what mine look like right now.
oh, okay, yeah. I know what this is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen people use these. They look pretty cool.
They're really fun.
Wow. This guy's wearing a harness and he's carrying them all.
Yeah,
Cool.
that's how you play tenors.
Nice.
It's
Yeah.
it's torture on the back, but it's worth it.
Yeah. Hurting parts of your body to play, instruments is actually surprisingly common. I know I
Yeah,
played the violin, but I have permanent wrist damage because I didn't hold my violin right. And instructor always told me that I should be holding it, with my wrist down and not resting up against the back of the violin. But it was more comfortable. But at the end of the day, now my wrist pops in like 8 different directions, so
Mine, mine's been doing that since ninth grade.
Nice, nice.
doesn't feel good either.
The benefits of percussion.
Yeah.
Watching Dylan crack his bones is kind of scary.
Hold on. I wonder if I can get you guys to hear this real quick. Hold on. Is it okay if I do that?
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
I'm just gonna try and crinkle my wrists a little bit. I'm gonna move this so maybe it's louder. It stopped. It's not as loud anymore. Did you guys hear a little bit of that though?
Uh-huh.
Tiny pops.
I did.
Did
I'm
okay.
not sure how to do it, but see if y'all can't hear this. Y'all hear that?
Uh-huh.
No, nothing.
That was
I didn't
my
hear
back.
it. It didn't look like
Well,
Discord picked it up for me.
well, it was my back. So usually
Oh,
it does it more,
Very
but
nice.
it feels great to pop my
let
back.
me see if I can pop my neck a little bit. Oh, that was it. Just a little pop. That's all I can do right now.
My neck, like it sounds like you're crunching leaves in the fall.
Whew, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Zachary would know.
dude. I pop my neck like 3 times a day. Like I think
Uh,
I'm doing good, but then like my neck, I get serious neck pain from that
Fun
later.
story about back popping. One time, me and Zachary were on a church trip to New Jersey. Yeah, he remembers now. Uh, we were on the church trip. We were in a hotel, right?
Yeah.
And
They
so,
made the mistake of giving two high school and middle school age teenagers their own hotel room.
but
Yeah.
I needed my back popped, right? So I laid on the floor and asked Zachary to step on my back. He didn't even put his full weight onto it, and it sounded like a handful of leaves, crunchy ones.
How? Was it painful or was it just,
Oh, it felt great. But after that, he never did again.
I've only ever had
Yeah.
someone pop my back once.
Highlight from that church trip was sitting in an elevator for 4 hours straight.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
I was with him.
I'm pretty sure that's where your back pain came from because we were hiding under a blanket. That's a story for another day. It sounds really bad
Yeah.
without context, but
Maybe the next time we bring Dylan on, that'd be a good story to tell. Yeah.
yeah. Okay, so next question, Logan.
Okay. Uh, Zachary, do you have any questions about band that you haven't read? Because I don't know. I can't come up with anything else.
I have one more.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna let you answer that. Ask that actually.
Okay. So this is like very nerdy when it comes to marching band. What's your favorite stand tune?
Oh, it's been a minute. Uh, out of ours, or out of just like ones in general?
General. And then like from both categories. So out of yours and also out of general.
Well, I guess this goes from both categories, but this also has to do with like how I play it. Like it's really fun for me to play. It's Shout It Out.
Oh, that's a great one.
It's from the movie Drumline, which ironically I have not seen,
Wow.
Dang. Kid on
but
Drumline not watching Drumline?
I want to see it though. So,
All
but
right.
my part is just great. I love it.
Yes. I'm gonna answer that. My favorite out of like the general ones is gonna have to be Hey Baby. It's just it's so catchy. And then out of the ones that my school does, it's gonna be called Louie Louie.
All right. Okay. So, can I ask my final question for Dylan?
Yes, you can.
Okay, so Dylan, I don't know much about band, so I won't ask you a band question. So the name of the podcast is What's New. We're supposed to be catching up with old friends, maybe even friends that we've seen recently, and just, you know, putting that question to them. And I noticed throughout this whole podcast, I don't think we've asked you that yet. So I don't know you, but I want to ask, since you met Zachary, right? And since the last time you saw him, what has happened in your life? Like what has he missed out on?
Well, we saw each other not too long ago, but before that, I got a girlfriend. I'm much happier now thanks to her. Uh,
Good.
I failed two classes,
Oh,
but
yeah.
I caught up in one of them. So,
Okay.
uh, let's see. Hmm,
All right.
I'm trying to think. Uh, and oh, I went to Orlando with our band because we stopped seeing each other really around when quarantine started.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to go on a band trip to Orlando. We got to play there. It was great. I got to go to the Harry Potter area.
Oh,
It was,
nice.
and then we're gonna go to Disney next year with the band. So yeah,
I want to go to Disney. I haven't been there since I was like 8, I
Neither
think.
have I.
Yeah.
I've never been,
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, I've been to
but
Disney a few times. So that's because my cousins, their parents, used to be like Disney parents that would take them all the time, and they live in Florida still, so they go a lot. But a place I
Yeah,
really want to go
Zachary.
is Universal Studios because I gotta go to Harry Potter Land, man. That's my absolute favorite movie series. So
Zachary's
but
also rich.
I'm
So,
not
I'm also
rich whatsoever. Do not say that.
I'm also gonna get to go to Disney spring break with my dad and stepmom.
That's fun.
all
We're
right.
gonna we're gonna go to Galaxy's Edge, and I'm gonna get a lightsaber.
I want to go to the new Star Wars part of Disney World, but every time I find out it's more and more just about the sequels, it makes me want to go less and less, except for the
Yeah.
lightsaber. Because they advertise it as Star Wars, the biggest Star Wars park, obviously in the world because they own the rights to it. And it's in Disney World and it's nice. I want to go and get a lightsaber, but I also wanted to do other things, but it seems like it's all about the new movies.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I have seen like some stuff where it's the older movies like Darth Vader and Empire Age Stormtroopers,
Okay. That's good news.
but not much of it.
Yeah. most of the videos you see of Galaxy's Edge, you'll see Kylo Ren, mostly Kylo Ren actually, talking to kids and some because it's just a guy in a costume, but I mean still.
It's cool to know that
Yeah.
while he's here.
Yeah.
Okay, so we just walked over our 1 hour mark, which means this is the end of the episode. So we're going to close things out now. So to the people who have watched our previous episodes, thank you. We enjoy and appreciate all your views and feedback and likes and all that. That's great. We've been getting a lot more attention than we actually expected that we'd be getting. So thank
Yeah.
you for all that. First off, signing off, thank you, Dillon, for coming on today and spending an hour with us. And I had fun. What about you guys?
Yeah,
Oh, I had fun.
I had fun.
I always have fun doing these.
This is always fun, yeah. So, anyways, thank you guys for watching this episode. This is episode 3. I don't know when our next episode will come out. It might be tomorrow, might be the day after. We'll
Yeah.
get everything sorted out, but we'll see you guys in episode number 4 with our next guest. And thank you for watching. Bye.